41 degrees Fahrenheit. 7:52 at CFBC AM Stereo, St. John. Tom.
Donald, I think I would be overstating the case a little if I was to say that the eyes and ears of New Brunswick will be focused on Fredericton, at least for the next little while, as the legislators of New Brunswick gather for their last sitting before the next provincial election. I'm Tom Young, and in just a moment, I'll take you behind the news.
Subaru Legacy Turbo is now somewhat of a legend. For the second year in a row, Subaru Legacy Turbo has been chosen Family Sedan of the Year. Take the new 1991 Legacy Turbo for a test drive at Admiral Subaru and see for yourself. Find out what the Automobile Journalists Association of Canada already know. Subaru Legacy Turbo for $19.91. There's one waiting for you at Admiral Subaru.
Admiral Fine Automobiles, we have the Maritime Drive.
Admiral Fine Automobiles, your Subaru dealer, 100 Bayside Drive.
But not Tom Young. And in 1 minute, I'll have the morning news for Irving Oil.
Something here we're proud of. It grows with every day, and it's here in everything we do. Those good old-fashioned values that make a better way of life for me and you. A better way of life for you. We're Irving people at work and at play. We're Irving people, it's the natural way. We work together to better this day. For Irving means people, and people mean service, and service means everything.
In the news this morning, the shipyard and the marine workers have broken off their talks. Where, oh, where is the next city manager? And it's now official. New Brunswick and the regional has the Hart unit. Now the details for Irving Oil. Negotiations between St. John Shipbuilding and the union that represents 1,500 workers out there have broken down. Chief union negotiator Huxley Brown says union and management applied yesterday for a conciliator. The move will have no effect on the operation at the yard. He says the two sides couldn't agree on terms of trade flexibility, subcontracting, and money. The Marine Workers Union Local 3 is the largest at the yard, and their last contract expired at the end of last year. St. John is now officially looking for a replacement for Jerry Taylor. Council has approved a $20,000 fee to Coopers and Lybrand to conduct a search. Councillor Dennis Nibb says despite Fraser says I was robbed and a loony will get you Bo Jackson. The weather, rain. All the details in 5 minutes. It's 8 o'clock. New Brunswickers no longer have to travel outside the province for specialized cardiac care. The new $12 million heart unit at the regional hospital officially opened Monday amid a great deal of pomp and ceremony. The new unit has been described as state-of-the-art. It's on the leading edge of technology. Health Minister Ray Furnett promising the money needed for the operating budget is going to be there.
The government certainly has allocated, and rightly so, the funds necessary. As I've indicated, a good part of the funds are actually expenditure savings or transfer of expenditures that we now make in Nova Scotia and Quebec for the similar procedures. So a good part of the budget will be taken from a transfer of those funds that were going outside of New Brunswick before.
The unit will cost $7 million a year to operate. The first patients will be admitted early next month. City police responding to yet another break and enter this morning, this time at Wacky Wheatley's on Rothsay Avenue. When police arrived on the scene just before 5, the door had been smashed and a door to a nearby business was open. There's no word on what, if anything, was taken, and our last report was that no one was in custody. An official with the New Brunswick Liberal Party pleading not guilty to charges of violating the Political Process Financing Act. That's
CFBC, first with sports in St. John. Our morning show continues. Here's Donnie. The fight last night, was it a TKO or was it a TKA?
TKU, I think.
TKU?
Yeah.
No.
What about you telling me to call Ralph Thomas Canvas back?
Well, I would never say that. You're the one who said it. You don't have the guts to admit it because he'd come over and hit you in the guts and all the spaghetti'd be over the control room. Here's the song for you anyway, King. I love you, kid.
Come on, everybody.
Sing along with it, King. "14 after 8, 8:14, a rainy Tuesday with Donnie in the morning at CFBC. Can you name the former Secretary General of the UN who was killed in a plane crash in the 60s? If so, I have breakfast for two from McDonald's awaiting you. 658-2322. Drive carefully this morning. Watch out for the puddles. Grab your umbrella or rain hat before you head out. You'll need it today. Tyson over Ruddick. TKO. That technical knockout or teeth knocked out? I prefer to call it a TKA. That's right, because Tyson kicked. And that's the way it is. Hornsby in the ring. Bruce Hornsby on the range. Ooh. CFBC at 8:19, 19 after 8. And Heather Limkill is celebrating birthday number 9 today. Also, congrats to Margaret Bridge of Martinon, trivia winner of the breakfast from McDonald's for 2. We wanted to know the former Secretary General of the UN who was killed in a plane crash in the, I believe it was 1961, Dag Hammarskjöld. The correct answer. Congratulations to Margaret. And say good morning to your cats for me, Margaret. She has a couple of cats there. Tom, at 9 o'clock, it's bilingualism, baby.
You ever think why bilingualism was ever introduced?
Well, ostensibly to appease the French.
Has it worked?
I would say au contraire.
Yeah, that's what I would say, au contraire. When you got something like the Boulanger-Campo Commission about to condemn the existing federal system and they want more autonomy, the people of Quebec couldn't care less whether we speak French. They don't want to speak English. Maybe, Donnie, the whole thing has been a failure. Maybe the whole thing has been a failure. That's what we're going to talk about at 9 o'clock at 658-2322, 1-800-561-8255.
Okay, tell me what I'm doing here. Katie, beautiful Katie, you're the only girl that I adore. Now, if you joined in and we got a hold of someone else to get some 3-part harmony going, we could do it like the Men of Fundy.
Yeah, barbershop quartet singing.
Yeah.
And they got a big deal coming up this weekend.
23rd annual is coming up this Saturday, I believe, at Vocational School.
Katie.
Yeah, the Parade of Harmony. And what about, what's the song, the old song with Irene in it?
Irene, good night, Irene. I don't think they're going to invite us to be their guests.
And you shouldn't sing that because Irene Reese might think you're singing to her, and she'll really get deathly ill.
You know we aren't.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, but the best of luck to the Men of Fundy in their 23rd annual this Saturday. We'll have some tickets, I guess.
Tomorrow.
Later in the week. 8:21, we have a classic from the 60s next.
Moments in motorsport history, courtesy of General Motors. 34 NASCAR stock car seasons, a record 200 wins, including 7 Daytona 500 victories. The King, Richard Petty's success will likely stand alone for all time. The Petty family dominance at Daytona goes back to the very first 500, when Richard's dad Lee took an Oldsmobile to the Checkers in 1959. Richard drove another Olds to victory 20 years later and won again in 81 in a Buick. Another great moment in motorsport history.
Don't miss GM's really great spring brakes. We're going to give you the best cash back and bonuses we can. Just look us in the eye and say, give me a really great brake on Canada's best-selling cars. Chevrolet Cavalier and Pontiac Sunbird. You'll get up to $1,800. Or maybe give me a terrific brake on one of Canada's roomiest compacts. Chevrolet Corsica and Pontiac Tempest. How does up to $1,500 sound? Just look your GM dealer in the eye and say, give me a really great brake. Some conditions apply. See your GM dealer for details.
In the Canadian Navy, even state-of-the-art technology and computer systems are only as good as you are. And as a technician or technologist responsible for keeping the ship's electronics up to speed, you've got to be good. Your diploma may qualify you now for our skilled trades entry plan with superior pay, fast promotion, and on-the-job training that will take you far in life and in your career. If you've got what it takes, come on board the Canadian Armed Forces. We're in the yellow pages under recruiting.
Jackpot alert! Attention! Jackpot alert! Lotto 649's jackpot's now $5 million. $5 million! Hurry! This is one ticket you want. Lotto 649. Everybody's got a dream.
All righty, 8:22. Rain at times heavy today. Terry in the news, Ingham in the sports coming up next. What's for lunch on in the next half hour? And I'm making music made to order this morning. Just call me your master chef. How about this one from 63?
Jackpot alert!
Oh, boy. Just think, I've been doing this for 19 years, maybe 20 or 21, I'll know what I'm doing here. Ray Hildebrand and Jill Jackson. Paul and Paula with a classic. Oh, yeah.
Hey, hey, Paula.
Monday. Rain at times heavy today. It's 5 Celsius at 8:25. I'm Terry Wallace with the CFBC News Break. Mainly sunny today. It's -4 Celsius at 8:25. I'm Terry Wallace, CFBC News for Admiral Auto. A $10 million housing project is still on hold while City Hall figures out how to come up with about $500,000 needed to repair a West End sewer system. The project by Manford Thompson Construction would mean more than 90 single-family homes and about 24 townhouses in a new subdivision on the Sand Cove Road. But it can't go ahead until the storm sewer system is up to snuff. And Mayor Wayne says the timing of the project is important. A report from city staff is expected by next Monday. The going is slow, but maritime provinces continue to talk about regional economic union. Maritime premiers agreed to prepare a joint discussion paper on the idea of a regional common market when they met in Woodstock yesterday. New Brunswick's Frank McKenna says he'll seek public consultation and call a meeting of the three maritime cabinets in mid-June. And the conditions seem ripe for some problem flooding along the St. John River this year. The Flood Forecast Center says the snow level in the upper reaches of the river are high. And the center is also worried about ice jams. Some have already formed in the Perth-Andover area. The Quebec government's task force on the province's future is to table its report tomorrow. Members of the Belanger-Campo Commission have voted to call for a sovereignty referendum to be held next year. Prison officials in Prince Albert, Saskatchewan, say they expect 2 hostages and 3 convicts to emerge from the prison any time now. Another hostage was released overnight, and officials had said the crisis appeared to be over. Canadian authorities now say American Psycho is not obscene and will be allowed into the country. That novel tells the graphic tale of a serial killer. In CFBC Sports.
In the NHL last night, Brett Hall scored 2 more goals to give him 83 in the season. Now the St. Louis Blues get by Minnesota 5-4. The Habs beat Hartford 3-2 in overtime. The NHL tonight, Chicago at Toronto, Boston at Quebec, Buffalo at Washington, New Jersey at the Rangers, Pittsburgh at Philadelphia, Vancouver at Calgary, Edmonton at Los Angeles. Nothing new overnight on the St. John Eagles protest in the New Brunswick Junior League Series with Cap Pelé, but there are indications all the administrators are going to turn a blind eye to the case of Cap Pelé's
Good morning. Sunny skies today. It's -2 Celsius at 6:25. I'm Terry Wallace, CFBC News for Tops Pizza and Restaurant, Union Street. Start your morning with a great breakfast special. New Brunswick's finance minister continues his gloomy predictions about the budget that he'll table next Tuesday.
One more time, Finance Minister Alan Marr says New Brunswickers are facing a tough budget next week. He insists it's not just a ploy to soften the blow.
Harsh realities will come forth, I think, in the budget.
Marr says the government faces major problems if it doesn't take drastic measures to keep its deficit under control. At the same time, he says New Brunswick won't be resorting to the massive civil service firings that Newfoundland announced earlier this month.
It will be severe, but perhaps somewhat less severe.
The main message during public meetings earlier this month on the budget was to cut spending, not raise taxes. Mar says that's a message he got loud and clear, and it will be reflected in next Tuesday's budget. Gerald Westine, Fredericton.
After 7 years in the New Brunswick legislature, Housing Minister Peter Treit says he's heading back to the classroom. Former teacher announced yesterday he will not run again in the next provincial election. He wants to spend more time with his children and return to teaching. Treit, who represents East St. John, was first elected as a New Democrat in 1984 and crossed over to the Liberals a year later. Tory leader Barbara Baird-Phillider wants a special ceremony to recognize now -2 Celsius, 28 Fahrenheit at 6:30. Next tide at 9:25. I'm Terry Wallace, CFBC News, first with news in St. John. Now the morning show continues, and here's Donnie.
All right, I think I may be getting WrestleMania 7 today on tape, Terry.
You might be. Why
Yes.
would you want to do that now?
Well, because I'm a big wrestling fan. And besides, if I don't get the tape today, a friend of mine, Joyce Brown, she won't admit, she gets mad when I tell everyone that she's a wrestling fan, but she is the biggest wrestling fan I know. If I don't get this wrestling tape today and I go to her house tonight, it'll be the WWF, but not on tape, live. She'll be body slamming her husband. Yes, it's me, Sock on You, the Ultimate Warrior, with Michael Penn at 29-7. Good morning. Your Waker, whatever. Mainly sunny, high of 10 today. Matthew Haley of Loch Lomond School is 10. Lucinda Dow, also of Loch Lomond School, 12. Jane Boyle, 18. Andrew Giberson from Danielle and Laura, 14. And Joan Manning is 38. Incidentally, Andrew Ryan of Quispam is our trivia winner. The James Bond flick we alluded to, Goldfinger, a Swedish massage parlor.
Yeah, you were going to tell us about that.
Well, there's a new one opened. It's kind of a novel idea in New York City. It's a combination massage parlor and like a drive-through.
Oh, really?
Oh, it's lovely. You never guess what it's called.
No.
The touch and go.
I believe I'm gonna be sick.
So am I. News break and Terry coming up.
I saw a web. There is a web in the barn.
A web would indicate an arachnoid presence.
Russell Hitchcock, formerly of Air Supply. Swear to your heart, caught in your web.
And wash the spider out. Out came the sun and dried up all the rain, and the itsy bitsy spider crawled up the spout again.
It's +1 Celsius at 8:25. Sunny and warm today. I'm Terry Wallace, CFBC News Break for Applebee's. New Brunswick's finance minister continues to issue grim warnings about the upcoming budget. Alan Marr calls his deficit reduction measures drastic. However, he says the province won't see the kind of major layoffs underway in Newfoundland, and New Brunswickers won't see major new taxes. Marr will bring down his... Satellite weather, sunny and warm today, and highs near 10, becoming cloudy tonight. Periods of rain beginning overnight, windy and lows near +2. Periods of rain tomorrow, a chance of thunder showers, winds diminishing, and highs near 10. Repeating the immediate outlook for today, sunny and warm. The uptown St. John temperature right now, 1 Celsius, 33 Fahrenheit at 8:30. The next high tide at 9:25. I'm Terry Wallace, CFBC News. First with news in St. John. Now the morning show continues, and here's Donnie.
Thank you very much, Terry. Are you mad at me, Terry? You don't like this arachnid...
I'm turning red, if that means anything.
Spiders being caught up in webs. Actually, what happened
who put those two kids in that AM control booth?
Actually, what happened in technical terms was the thingamajig got caught in the whatchamacallit.
And what's his name goofed up.
Enough inside radio jargon for now. We're going to find out what's for lunch in about 5 minutes. Right now, if you're listening to CFBC, you're picking up sticks. Show me the way.
It's 2 degrees Celsius, that's 36 Fahrenheit at 8:55. We will have occasional flurries this morning. They should be gone by noon. The sunshine will be here for Easter Sunday. Good morning. I'm Stan Cordy. This is the FBC News for Loch Lomond Mall.
Spring into the Easter season with a visit to the Loch Lomond Mall. The Easter Bunny will be hippity-hopping through the mall today from 11 till noon and 1 till 4, carrying a basket overflowing with all kinds of Easter goodies for the little ones. For moms and dads, Loch Lomond Mall merchants offer tremendous savings on spring fashions and Easter candy for the family. Hop down to the Loch Lomond Mall for fantastic Easter savings.
We're catching Easter values here.
City Works crews are on the scene of a major water main break near Haymarket Square this morning, and police are advising motorists to avoid the area if they can. They suggest Waterloo Street or the Courtney Bay Causeway. Works Department officials have managed to pinpoint the leak. There's no word on what caused the break or on how long it's going to take to fix it. Well, Art Pafford says he won't back down. The Corps leader raised some eyebrows on Thursday when he suggested all Quebecers be kicked out of New Brunswick. He was angry some New Brunswick workers were sent home from a construction site in Quebec because of hiring rules. Other politicians and Acadian groups say the suggestion was irresponsible and inflammatory.
I ain't afraid of no. Okay.